SAFC Fan TV, I'm SHAUN MIDDLETON. Today, we're in the town centre. It's Sunderland's 5th league game of the season. We're playing Swindon Town. The game has just finished. Swindon Town 0, Sunderland 2. And now I'll be getting the fans' reactions as they leave the pubs. Can I say a big thank you as well to the Man Mistake who've done a live stream today, and we are now on 4,000 subscribers and we want to get to 5,000 subscribers by the end of 2020. Remember, it's free. If you're struggling to subscribe or you don't know what to do, just ask a family member, ask somebody who can do it for you. It doesn't cost a penny, it's totally free. Thanks for your time. Swindon Town 0, Sunderland 2. Jack Shields, I love your expertise on the game. Obviously we've won the game. It's another clean sheet. Charlie White scored. We were totally in control of the game. I don't think they really troubled us. There's a lot of people obviously still not very happy, but we're 5th in the table. We've got a game in hand. It's happy days for me.
Yeah, I think people, when they look at the fixtures, thought that might be a bit of a tricky start. But I think we've 5 games, won 3, drawn 2. Haven't really played well for large spells in any of them, but done enough to get the wins, and I think that's the main thing, isn't it? Particularly at this level, you don't have to do a great deal to get the win. Today we had good spells over the game. You couldn't say it was a brilliant performance over the 90 minutes, but we did enough. I think I agree with you. I thought we were the better team, particularly in the first half. I felt, I looked at the possession stats. They had more of the ball, but never really troubled us. A lot of their possession was kind of halfway up the pitch, passing it about really, and the team that were getting into dangerous areas and creating things were us. I thought, but for a little bit of luck and a little bit of finesse in the final third, we would have had more goals, particularly in the first half. And it was a bit of a scrappy game, there wasn't much quality. I think the one bit of quality was the ball in from, I think it was Gooch to get the ball in. There was a decent finish from Charlie White. I know he's had his critics in the sun and shirt, but it was a good finish, a flick into the back of the net, and it was a good time as well. I think it was about 7-8 minutes before the half time, It was a good time to go in and get 1-0 in front, and then it went on from there. But yeah, I thought it was a fairly comfortable win. Yeah.
I mean, I was trying to figure out the formation, Jack, but eventually it clicked us. There was a 3-5-2, I think we played. Do you think that's what it was?
I'm not sure. I was looking and I thought, was it not more of a 4-2-3-1? Obviously, we had Willis went off, didn't he? So I don't know if that changed things the way they were playing. But I felt that I think is Max Power playing a bit further forward. I think he's starting from last season. And I think not having to sit back and have as much discipline, and again he's had his critics in the sun and chat. I think that's helping us, and I think we had Maguire and Gooch who were putting in good balls today for White, and I think the main improved player today was Charlie White. Grant Leppard had a very good game, I felt, in the centre mid. I thought he was spraying balls all over, and really he looks like he's got over his problems that he had, and he's looking like a really accomplished player for us, in terms of sitting, spraying balls and really dictating, our tempo. He speeds it up when we need to speed it up, slows it down. But I would say White was a really improved player. I thought he was running the channels, he was holding the ball up, and obviously got a goal which he hasn't done enough in the Sunderland shirt. So yeah, I thought that those were the key players for us today.
We brought in a defender, Dion Sanderson, obviously from Wolves. He played at Cardiff for 10 games. We obviously lost Amarji and Morgan Feeney, so we lost 2 defenders there. I think we need to bring a defender in, didn't we, to be fair. I mean, we were looking pretty... That's the things that can change, when you get a couple of injuries, you don't look likely, but I think bringing Dion Sanderson in, I think it looks like a decent signing.
Yeah, I mean, particularly we've had Flanagan suspended, didn't you? Got sent off at Charlton, so that didn't help things. And your squad's not as big. When you think about it, a couple of seasons ago, we seem to have quite a few players in every position, whereas because of players leaving and, we haven't brought in as many, not only are we a bit short on quality, we're a bit short on quantity and actual numbers as well. So particularly defenders, I was looking and thinking, when Willis went off, I was thinking that's not great. But at Dion Sanderson, I'm going to admit I don't know a great deal about him, but the pedigree and the things I've heard from him, I've heard about him, he seems to be pretty good talent and good future in the game. So hopefully you can use it as a springboard for us and see it as a good opportunity for him to do well at us and then maybe kick on in his career. So it should be a good move really for us.
Jack, we're in 5th place now. We've got a game in hand. We've got Crewe on Tuesday, and then we've obviously got Portsmouth on Saturday. So the 3 games, what was coming up, we won one of them. I said I would set up for 7 points, but being greedy, would you feel like 9 points would be fantastic?
Can't get better than 9 out of 9, can you? I mean, I think everyone was looking at today as one of those potential banana skins. It's the type of game. Promoted team last year, away from home, Sunderland turn up flat and lose 1 or 2-0. We had it a couple of times. I think Lincoln last year, I think was one of the end of Jack Ross one of the last games Jack Ross managed. They'd been promoted, flat performance, went down there, they beat us 2-0, and I was looking at that today thinking that might be one of them, but we didn't. We approached it in the right manner, took the game to them, we were the team on the front foot, didn't have as much of the ball of them, but got it in key areas and won the game. And now you're looking at it thinking 2 home games, there's something wrong. I mean, again, I don't want to be too arrogant, but there's something wrong if we can't be looking at Crewe Alexandra at home and thinking we should be winning that. And then again, we've had a bit of a rivalry with Portsmouth in the last couple of years, but they've started really, really poorly. They lost the game today, they conceded late on, I think it was 88th minute, lost at home today, so they've made a poor start. So we're looking at that now thinking we beat Crewe, the momentum with the wins and everything, and we're not conceding goals. We've only conceded 1 goal in the first 5 games, which is a penalty in the first game, so teams aren't really creating much against us, and when you're like that way, you only need one good move, 1 goal to score and win the game. So absolutely no reason why we can't be confident and say, look, beat Crewe, beat Portsmouth, 6 points, and then we're on the roll, really, aren't we? So let's go for it, let's try and get the wins.
It's a great point there, Jack. I mean, if you can keep clean sheets, I mean, we've kept 4 clean sheets. I mean, we haven't looked like conceding, to be fair, in a lot of the games. The only goal we conceded was the penalty in the first game against Bristol Rovers. Well, quickly, Jack, obviously, star man of the match.
I'm toss up between White and Ledbetter. I think White led the line really well, but I've got to go for Ledbetter. I think the range of passing he did today, he's a real leader. Sometimes you look at him on the pitch, he knows exactly what to say and what to do, when to slow it up, when to speed it, when to slow it down, when to speed it up. And I think Ledbetter he had a really good game today, but White was good as well, so he wouldn't be far off.
Right, thanks for your time, Jack. All right, I'm with Jake. Jake, obviously, Sun's 5th game of the season. It was ended Swindon Town 0, Sunderland 2. Charlie White obviously scored the goal and he gets a lot of criticism, but you've got to give the lads credit. It's another clean sheet, 2-0 victory going to the Crewe game. It's a massive confidence booster.
No, of course, mate. Like I say, you're coming away to teams like Swindon Town. Yes, teams we should be beating, and of course we have today, but you're going to say it's going to be scrappy. And you're going to come across this all season, I think. Smaller teams, not to be arrogant, but smaller teams like Swindon Town, we need these 3 points off these teams, and we need to be consistent. Like a professional performance is what I think we give today. Beat Swindon Town 2-0, another clean sheet. I think was that the 4th this season?
4th clean sheet, aye.
We should have probably kept the clean sheet in the first game as well. Yeah. But like I say, it was a penalty in the 3rd minute. But a professional performance today. I thought we were brilliant. Another clean sheet, and Charlie White getting amongst the goals. So I thought it was a good performance today.
Obviously, the formation took us a while to figure it out. I think it was a 3-5-2. I think it was obviously Charlie White and Chris Maguire, and obviously 5 in the middle and 3 at the back. I think Partington, he's had to jiggle things around because he's had a few injuries and suspensions. Flanagan, O'Malgy, Morgan Feeney. So he's had and then obviously Willis got injured during the game and he had to bring in Jack Diamond. How do you think Jack Diamond done?
I thought he played well, mate. I thought he looked quite comfortable. But like I say, losing players in the 18th minute like we did today, Jordan Willis, especially then when we were lacking a couple of seasons ago, we had more depth, but this season it looks like we're getting very unlucky. We're losing defenders left, right and centre. Like I said, Afini's out, new signing we just brought in. However you say it, the new signing, I've no idea what you say his name.
That day on Sanderson?
No, sorry, he come on, but was the Jumanji.
Jumanji, he's out for the season. Yeah.
We lost him, which is very unfortunate. I've heard good things about him. Lost him, but yeah, mate, I think we need to start keeping these clean sheets, mate. To be honest, and like I say, that Sanderson looked decent when he come on. Heard good things about him from the Wolves, but yeah, mate, just keeping these clean sheets is the most important thing.
And like I say, the window is shut now. We brought in Deon Sanderson, and that was the last signing. We're still bringing free agents, players who's obviously available on who hasn't got a club. But I mean, do you think this squad? I mean, I keep on saying this every week, but this squad now, do you think it's good enough to get us in the top 2 to get us promoted?
It's hard to say, mate, really, because say a couple of seasons ago we had the likes of Madra and things. We look like we had a lot more depth and players in different positions, but this season we've got probably a little bit less in every position. We don't have many players at the back now, especially when we're getting injuries. Hopefully Willis is alright. I haven't actually heard much, but hopefully Willis is okay now to be in the next game. Flanagan obviously got suspended when he got a red card against Charlton. But we look like we've got less and less options at the back, really.
Yeah. Quickly, mate, star man of the match.
Probably the same as Jack. I'd say probably go for Grant Ledbetter. Look, I've been one of his most critics this season, but I think he's been brilliant today.
3 games in the Roy's been class.
Aye.
Right, thanks for your time, mate. Cheers. All right, I'm in the town centre. Sunderland have won their 5th league game of the season against Swindon Town, 2-0. Jack, obviously, it was a gritty game. There wasn't much in the game. We were fully in control of it. It's another win, clean sheet. Charlie White scored as well. I know you don't like Charlie White, but going into the Crew game, I mean, it's 3 points. We've got to take the positives, haven't we?
Yeah, you've got to take the positives. I think it was a scrappy game today. I thought we struggled to create chances, but we were fully in control of the game. I don't think they ever really challenged us much. But I don't think we challenged them much. But we won the game. We've done well. We've got the clean sheet. White's got a goal. White's got a goal. Let's just move on to Tuesday and go from there.
I know Phil Partons keeps on when his team selection when I was getting announced at an hour before the game. I seen it. Charlie White got announced as he was starting, and there was a lot of people going Charlie White because he's got a. I mean, the lads in the fan TV, like I was watching on Thursday, a lot of people's been saying that he's getting a lot of criticism and it's not deserved. But you look at his goal ratio, it's not great. But one thing about Charlie is he does give 100%, and today he scored the goal, he held the ball up well. You know, let's give the lad some credit. Let's not, let's stop like getting on his back. He's our look how straight he's our main scorer with 1 goal.
Right, I slightly disagree with you because when I seen the team sheet this morning, this afternoon, when I was in the car and I went, what is his obsession with Charlie White? Surely there must be something going. I thought surely there must be something going on behind closed doors that we don't know about, because it seems to me as if game after game after game he doesn't offer us anything. Don't get us wrong, I'm really not a big fan of Greg either. I think if Greg doesn't score, he doesn't give you anything. I think he lets his head go, and often Greg just puts any effort in. I think White always puts 100% in, but I don't think he offers anything other than if he gets a goal, which obviously he doesn't tend to get a goal most weeks. But today, I thought it was probably one of his better games in the Sunderland shirt. He got his goal out. He took his goal fantastic. It was when the ball, great cross from Gooch, man, great work down the left side. The ball came in. Normally I would expect Charlie White 9 times out of 10 to blast that off the stadium. I thought he controlled it really well. Hit it first time, so the balls went to the back of the net. He didn't have a bad game today. I wouldn't complain if he started again next Tuesday. But there are still like, as a striker, no, I don't, and I still think we need to be criticising him because Parkinson clearly has some sort of love for him, and he's just I don't think he's our best option up front. I much prefer Graham.
I know you say that, Jack, but obviously Will Greg and Danny Graham, they both have had a few games, haven't scored. Charlie White scored today, and that's people say it's against Swindon Town, and they're like sort of a weaker side will be at the bottom of the end of the table. But Charlie White took his goal well. Sorry, he held the ball up well. I thought he played really well. He gets a lot of criticism, but we should just give him a bit of praise. And I think at times,
I think give him praise for today, but going forward, not necessarily, because he had a good game today. But when's he going to do that again? If he plays Tuesday and Saturday, I guarantee he won't have a game as good as that, and he probably won't score. No, and that he'll probably bang an hat-trick on Tuesday night, but as I was saying, when he scored, I went, that's his goal to the Christmas now. Because his goal ratio must be what one in every 7 or 8 games or something ridiculous like that. So I don't think you can look at him having 1 goal. Give him praise for his goal, but I don't think you can say that's good enough to warrant him starting each week. I think with goal scoring, we don't have anyone who can put the ball in the back of the net, 20 goals a season or whatever. But I do think we've got a player there in Danny Graham who, although he's maybe not going to score loads of goals, as I've said, I still think he's got more to offer that White doesn't. I think he can hold the ball up well. I think he might win a few headers. I think he'll put a lot of pressure on defenders. He'll work a bit harder, although White does still do a lot of running. I think he'll bring other players into the game a lot better. I don't think White does anything. He had a good game today, but 9 times out of 10 he doesn't do anything. I don't think.
Switching the conversation here a little bit, Jack. Obviously, Dion Sanson signed from Wolves. He had a decent spell at Cardiff. He's a centre half. He's right back as well. Obviously, injuries to Amalji and Morgan Feeney. I think that was forced on us. That's why we had to sign Dion Sanson. I mean, the things I've heard about him, he sounds like a really good defender. I mean, have you heard much about him?
I mean, if he flashed up on us yesterday, I'd never heard of him, but I did a little bit of research and I seen that he played, I think it was 11 appearances for Cardiff.
10
for Cardiff. if he's played 10 times for Cardiff last season, who were one of the better teams in the Championship, he must have something about him.
Yeah.
So I was ultimately quite pleased that obviously with me, a bit versatile. I think Cardiff's manager was praising his youthfulness and his energy, I think, with the two words he used, which is great, because that might need he can even cover at wing back, which I think I said before, left wing back, obviously we've only got one option really with Hugh. With Gooch, I thought Gooch had a good game today, but we've only really got one out and out left back, and then 09 on the right. He might be able to cover either side. He can probably cover in centre back, and now more than ever we need cover in centre back. So a decent signing, I would say.
Jack, obviously the formation today, it took us a while to figure out, but I think it was a 3-5-2. Parkinson keeps on, the fans, it's split, but every time he keeps on proving the fans wrong. Starting white, clean sheets. 5 games in, with 5th in the table with the game in hand, I think it's a really good start. We've got Crewe and Portsmouth next. But obviously going back to the game today, how do you think stood out and how do you think was the man of the match?
To be honest with you, I don't think many players stood out. I was struggling to pick a man of the match. I was sticking with a few minutes left. Maybe it'll give it a Ledbetter, maybe it'll give it a Wright. I think I'm going to give it to Gooch. As I say, not many players stood out, and maybe Gooch didn't have a great game, but I just remember in particular that one time he beat the player down the flank and put the cross in. I thought that was class, and I thought he was pretty consistent for most of the game. Difficult to give a man of the match today because I don't think anyone really stood out. I'll go with Gooch.
That's your time, Jack. Cheers, Paul. Cheers. All right, I'm in the town centre. I'm with Carol. Carol, obviously, we've won the game 2-0 against Swindon. For me, people say it's an expected win, but it's another clean sheet, it's another victory, and we're 5th in the table with the game in hand.
It's never expected win. Never. You've got to go out there and win every single game as it comes to you, right? And exactly, we're 5th in the league now, and I'm over the moon. Absolutely, really brilliant.
Charlie White gets his criticism by a lot of people. He started the game today, he scored a goal, and he held the ball really well, and I thought he was outstanding today.
I agree with as well. I think he's had a lot of criticism over the last few years and all. I've watched him play. Had a season ticket up until last year, just the same. And I watch him, and I do like him play. I think he gets stuck into the game, and I think people should back off him.
And well, the lads on the panel and the Fan TV, I don't know if you watch it, but obviously I didn't see it on Thursday. I seen a little clip where they were all having a go at him, and there was a lot of things happened on social media saying that. It's if Charlie's watching the programme, it'll not be very nice. I mean, his goal ratio is not great, but the one thing with Charlie White is he gives 100%, and he scored a day, and I think we should praise the lad and say, keep on shutting him down.
Do you know what it is? I absolutely agree. You've got to give him a bit of confidence. Confidence is all about getting there, playing the game, right? And it's no use all these people sitting back and going, he's rubbish, he's crap and all that. You've got to give him, he plays, he gets stuck in, and he does what he's got to do.
Obviously, Phil Parkinson, he had to make a few changes today. Injuries, obviously, unfortunately, Margie he's out for the season now. Morgan Feeney's out for 4 months. Right. Brought in Dion Sanderson from Wolves. I don't know much about him. He had a loan spell for 10 games at Cardiff. He looks like a decent defender. I think we need to bring that defending because obviously we've lost 2 defenders for a long time.
I think you're right there. I think we've always need defence. We used to have a very good defence a few years ago and then went really weak. Yeah. But if he brings them in, like you said today, we've had a really good defence. We still need the midfield. Yeah. We need wingers. Yeah. And I've said that for a lot of years, to give the pace and to pass it forward to the forwards to score goals. Yeah.
I think I agree with our squad's lacking pace, isn't it? I mean, that's one thing I'd criticise our recruitment side of it because we haven't brought any players in who's fast. But looking at the squad now, would you say that this squad's good enough to finish in the top 2?
Well, I hope so. I really, really do. But I think he needs to give them a good kick with the backside to keep them going. As I say, we've got a good defence now. We've got forwards up there. We need to push our wingers and create chances and everything. We've got to do that, otherwise we've gone.
You think the same as me? For me, the midfield, is not good enough at times. I'm criticise Power. I didn't know what he offers to the team. I didn't even see him in the game yesterday. I thought Scowen was good. I thought he played really well. But if the forwards are not getting the service, how are they going to score goals?
I totally agree as well. We've had, I'm talking about years ago when we used to have Kevin Ball in midfield.
Oh, it was solid.
It was solid, and we had some good wingers then, as you know as well. Exactly, and we used to fit. I know we had sort of like Niall Quinn and Kevin Phillips at the time, but I think we need to reproduce that in younger players, but definitely these players. We've got a good defence now. We need a good, better midfield to feed on the forwards and score the goals.
I just want to see a quick Billy Wright. I mean, I was reading a stat last week. How good's he been? I mean, when he's in the squad, we keep clean sheets. Billy Wright's in that squad, we keep clean sheets. You keep clean sheets, you win games. I think Billy Wright is an absolute massive signing for Sunderland Football Club this season.
I agree with you as well. I think that's what we need. We need somebody to be confident and to push the team forward and get the team going as well. That's what we need.
I mean, I thought we were comfortable today. I didn't think they really created much. I thought we kept the ball well, and when we made them run for it and we tied them out. But quickly, love, who do you think was the star man or the best moment in the game?
Oh, God. What can I say? I mean, the goals, obviously. I say that. The penalty, I've got to say that because we scored another goal as well. But Charlie Wyke. Charlie Wyke, sorry.
That's fair enough.
Charlie Wyke. People might criticise him, but I like him. And I've liked him since he came to Sunderland as well. Good player.
Well said, love. Well said. Thanks for your time, all right? Stay safe. And have a safe journey home, okay? Take care, love.